Hey there, internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of Trevor Trove Gaming. Today, of course, I'm going to be talking about the big story of the day, EA's decision to close Visceral. And this is like the fourth time I've attempted to try and put together cohesive thoughts about this, because I'm just angry about the whole damn thing. And so it's just kind of turned it into a rant a few times. And that's just kind of what I'm going to do with it. I'm just going to rant. They put out this big, long statement, the main takeaway of which I listened to and saw from it is as follows. Our Visceral studio has been developing an action-adventure title set in the Star Wars universe. In its current form, it was shaping up to be a story-based linear adventure game. Throughout the development process, we have been testing the game concepts with players, listening to the feedback about what and how they want to play, and closely tracking fundamental shifts in the marketplace. It has become clear that to deliver an experience that players will want to come back to and enjoy for a long time to come, we need to pivot the design. We will maintain the stunning visuals, authenticity in the Star Wars universe, and focus on bringing a Star Wars story to life. Importantly, we are shifting the game to be a broader experience that allows for more variety and player agency, leaning into the capabilities of our Frostbite engine and reimagining central elements of the game to give players a Star Wars adventure of greater depth and breadth to explore. So they've taken a nice little self-contained single-player experience and basically said, well, focus groups only want multiplayer experiences, only want stuff that they're going to come back to and play match over match over match over match over match over match over match. And if we're lucky, they'll want to buy stuff when they come back and play it match over match over match over match over match over match over match. Be that loot boxes or character designs or whatever. They're gonna spend more money if they come back to us over and over and over and over again. If they only spend money on our game, it's gonna be great. And that's not what I want. That's not what so many people are looking for. EA is effectively here saying, well, we can't make money with a single-player standalone experience. And EA probably can't. EA is probably such a large, bloated company at this point that they probably can't survive on the single-player $60 game because they build games too big and they have big teams too big to do it. So it makes sense that they are continuing to switch to a business model that, prioritizes longevity of a game's lifetime. Sacrificing content and story. They're saying, we want a game that you'll come back to. When many people, like myself, are saying, I don't want to come back to your game over and over again. I want to play your game, I want to have this experience, and then I want to move on to something else. And I'm sorry, that's probably not going to be an EA game. It might. I played Mass Effect earlier this year. I'm going to play the Star Wars Battlefront game. That's 2 EA games that they got out of me this year. But outside of that, I'm spreading my wealth to a whole bunch of other studios. But EA is going to be the studio that wants me to come in and buy Madden and then just spend a bunch of money continuing to play Madden all year round. And as I've mentioned here on the show before, one of my coworkers is one of those people that I've met who buys the new Call of Duty every year, and that's what he plays with his friends. He doesn't really dive into anything else, he just plays that Call of Duty every year. And good for him, because he's really the one working the system, because he's buying one game and spending an entire year having fun with it, not putting money into it, just enjoying that one game week after week with his buddies. And because they're having to continue keeping their servers active and not making any additional money off of him and players like him, the rest of us are dealing with loot crates and microtransactions and DLC and season passes and crazy deluxe editions and all that stuff that is infecting the business of the business. I put a tweet out earlier that it's amazing how this year simultaneously feels like the best year in gaming and the worst year in gaming. And my friend Brandon Gann aptly put it, the games are the best in gaming. The game's business is among the worst. It is among the least consumer-friendly because it is constantly bombarding us, trying to get us to pay more money after we've already entered the game. My hope at this point is probably effectively that EA does just kind of completely walk away from single-player experiences. Because they've shown time and time again that they're not interested in those. Those aren't moneymakers for them. They're not the kind of company that's interested in creating a single-player experience, even in the capacity of it being some sort of like loss leader to build goodwill for a community, and then really making their money off of someone like a Battlefront. When I work in theater, we would have our big blockbuster shows. But weirdly, those shows weren't the ones that made us money, because those shows cost as much as they did to put on as we brought in. What really made us the money was the cheaper shows that everybody still had to come see because it was part of their subscription. So in that kind of business model, you could have created this game, you could have pumped out this single-player experience, and used the profits from Battlefront 2's never-ending loot crate supply of pay-to-win that's coming out to fund it. But instead, EA's just said, nope, we're just going to cut and run. We're going to turn this into something else. We're going to turn this into another loot crate kind of game. So hopefully, as EA and other publishers continue to do this, we're going to see somebody come in and fill the void and say, you know what? We think gamers really do just want single-player experiences. We think that's a market we can serve, and we can serve it effectively without going over budget, without, driving our employees mad with crunch. We'll be good project managers. We'll set appropriate deadlines, even if it is giving ourselves time to float and say, hey, we can probably get this game done in 2 years, but we're going to give it 3, so we've got that extra time when things come up that we don't anticipate, and not force our employees to really have to work 18-hour days in the last 2 months. And because of that, we're going to be able to kick out this game for $60 and make, a good profit on it. Because there's an audience out there that'll buy it. That's what I hope. Of course, my thoughts go out to everybody affected at Visceral. It looks like a lot of them are probably getting moved around to other studios within the EA ecosphere, but not all of them will. So I hope they land on their feet soon. So those are my thoughts on EA shutting down Visceral. Started as a rant and just kind of ended up a depressed slog. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.